All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited. The month of March is National Women's Month, and I got the pleasure, of working with some amazing young ladies. Um, some amazing young ladies here with STS Enterprise, and they do a number of things. But tonight, in particular, I get a chance to talk to three young ladies that volunteer with our organization, but they are their own bosses, right? They're entrepreneurs. They have their own business. They're thriving. They're making a difference in their industries, and I'm just so excited to be able to talk to these ladies on today. So, my name is Jeremy B. Calhoun, president and co-founder of STS Enterprise Setting the Standard, and tonight is our Women in Entrepreneurship panel. Ladies, how y'all doing? Y'all doing all right?
Doing
Good.
good.
So I've had the pleasure of knowing each of you for some time, but I think it'll be best if you all introduce yourselves, right? So if you could share with everyone, just share your name, the name of your business, and then how long you've been an entrepreneur.
I'll go first. My name is Ashley Garrison. My business is GRF Financials. It's a CPA company, full service CPA company. We do taxes, bookkeeping, tax resolution, and auditing. I've been an entrepreneur, or I've had GRF for 5 years now.
And I guess I'll go next. So my name is Jasmine Tribble. I am the owner of Black Spark Candles, and I have been an entrepreneur or a side hustler, may you say, for about a year and a half. I launched my business in August of 2020. I'm sorry. August 2020. Longer than I thought.
And my name is Kayla Matthews. I'm the owner of What the Doula here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm a birth and postpartum doula, lactation counselor. I support people through their birth and postpartum journeys. And I love just, helping people see a different side of birth and birth education. And I've been an entrepreneur for 3 years now.
That's what's up, man. So I'm excited because we got three very different industries, right? With three very different target audiences. But I think the one thing that you ladies have in common is that you ladies are excellent in what you do. You've experienced success. You've done it at a high level, and I know each of you are constantly looking to take your business to the next level. So, want to kick it off. We're just gonna have a conversation. Can we just kick it tonight and just have a good old conversation about how y'all killing it?
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
All right, cool. All right, and look, and it says you can brag about yourself. All right, brag about your business. You do not have to be humble, when talking about your business. All right, there's time to be humble, but tonight is not the night to be humble. All right, I need y'all to talk y'all stuff. Let them know, because hopefully, part of this is that once they get through hearing our conversation, hopefully somebody is going to say, hey, I want to learn about GRF Financials, What the Doula, Black Spark, and hopefully they'll want to provide, reach out to you about some potential business opportunities. So real quick, if you could, tell us a little bit about your business, and what makes it unique. Tell us about your business and what makes it unique.
Do you want us to go in a particular order? I can go first. I didn't know. I know we initially said alphabetical order, but I can go. So, with Black Spark, I started it middle of the pandemic, really as a passion project, making candles, something to really keep me busy. And I grew a passion for it, making candles and home fragrances. But my main purpose was really to kind of spread some love and tranquility during the pandemic, because I know that a lot of people struggled, especially with their mental health. Me personally, I really wanted to, learn how to give myself more time I spent a lot of time at work and doing other things, but having that self-care was very important for me, and I just used my brand to kind of spread that message. So with my candles, all of them come with personalized custom labels, and they have positive affirmations on there. And that was just my way of spreading just a message of positivity through my products. And I think that's really what kind of sets them apart and what people really love about them. And they smell amazing. So they are all homemade, and I, spent a lot mastering the science behind, creating a, pretty strong candle that has a pretty good burn time and things like that, on top of, making sure that the branding and things like that were on point. So all made with love, and I really think that's what's been, keeping me going and having my business be as successful as it is now. And people really enjoy my products, and I'm grateful for all of my customers. Like I said, I'm a side hustler, so I do have a full-time job, and it's a lot balancing all of that, but I'm sure we'll get into that some more. But that's just a little bit of a background behind, how Black Spark started with me.
I guess what makes what I do different or unique is I support people kind of wherever they want to have a baby or wherever they want to take care of a baby or babies. What doula work is becoming very trendy nowadays. I'm a doula is a support person, physical, emotional, informational for persons that are, wanting to basically take control of their birthing experience, learn more than just, what you would get going and showing up. And a lot of people have to seek the support that I offer. That's definitely something that makes it unique. It should be affordable and accessible to everybody, but it really isn't the service that I provide. And so I'm very privileged to be able to work with people that can be able to, pay for what it is that I offer. I get to set my own rates. I get to kind of determine what I provide, what I will and won't do, because the field that I work in is really unregulated right now. That has its pros, it has its cons. That's another thing that makes it unique. And I get to utilize my previous experience as a teacher to really add another level to the service that I bring to people, because I can connect people with information. And that's really what we need on this journey.
So for me, what makes me different from run-of-the-mill CPA, one is that I wanted to make sure that I changed the idea and concept of what a CPA is. Because by default, and just because of our industry, that is a very white, male-dominated field. So I wanted to, really paint a different picture of what a CPA is and the experience that you have with a CPA. Because oftentimes people view it as, a stressful interaction or, not necessarily a positive experience. And so I wanted to absolutely exude luxurious positivity to all of my clients. So.
All right, now that's live. That's live. We got somebody who just started their business, right? Right before the pandemic. We got a former teacher, right, that is using her skills as an educator to teach people about how to own their birthing process. And then we got, an individual that came from corporate but wants to change the narrative and the experience that people have, when it comes to the industry of a CPA or just the whole financial accounting space. So that's dope, and I think each one of you have industries and businesses that are, I believe, that are in demand right now, right? People having babies, we always need somebody with finances, and then just with the whole mental health, people, if they can walk in, their house feels good, and it puts them in a better place. So, I know business is going well for you all, but tell me about how have you leveraged your 9 to 5, whether what you used to do or what you're currently doing to enhance your business, right? Because most people think I'm an entrepreneur, forget the 9 to 5, I don't need it, I want to be my own boss, and we all know that there's ways to leverage what you're currently doing and to help you enhance your entrepreneurship journeys. So how have you guys done that with your business?
I've definitely leveraged my time as an educator well, I think, in my doula work. As a teacher, we made lesson plans, we built templates, we planned with the end in mind. We really knew how to work up to the end result for students. And it's kind of the same way with what I provide for people, whether I'm providing just birth support, whether I'm providing lactation support or postpartum or all of the support, I know how to tailor the questions that I'm asking, the presentations that I'm putting in front of them to elicit the engagement, the information, the curiosity that I need to help create that experience for them. And then likewise, I am familiar with various learning styles, and how to help people honor their voices, and how to help people meet, confrontation and conflict and trauma. You kind of taught how to do all of that as an educator, and I'm just very fortunate to be able to rely on that. Then you throw in the organizational piece, you throw in the fact that I'm already good with kids, I'm a mom, I had a doula. It just, all of those things really make what I do really easy.
So for me, I had my business for quite a while still working at my 9 to 5, but it was really, I worked at corporate in accounting, but what I did in corporate is completely different from what I do now. I do very big whole pictures versus working at a Fortune 500 company. I got to operate in a very small window. So I took skills from that to apply to my business, but more than anything, the autonomy that I had with my job allowed me to work on my business and build that up. And so I actually quit my corporate job like a week before, the world shut down. I had no idea it was coming. And so I've been 100% dedicated to my business for 2 years now. And just the backing that having a corporate background gives you the what am I thinking? What's the word I'm thinking? Like the legitimization of you, or as me as an accountant that I got from being in a corporate position, and the ability to actually work on my business before actually jumping out there and doing it full time.
For me, I'm currently still working my 9 to 5 job, so I have a background in human resources, and a lot of that, working in HR, you have to have the ability to, connect with people, communicate, and I think that's really important when it comes to my business. And I think it's what's helped me kind of set myself apart is the relationships I'm able to build with my customers. They feel comfortable speaking with me. They know that, something goes wrong, that I'm, there to help them. And I think, having that HR background and the ability to really connect and problem solve easily has really helped me as I've grown my business and the connections that I've made through corporate. So a lot of my customers I actually kind of met through some of my 9 to 5, positions, and even through volunteering. So STS, being involved with STS, I've gotten a lot of customers from there, and it's all, I feel like everything is kind of integrating together from my experience before starting my business. Even as small as I used to work at FedEx when I was in college. And so while I was working there, I was working at Kinko's. And so while I was working there, I learned how to properly pack a package. And I never thought that I would need to know that. And so I started running a candle business where all my products are fragile. And so it's just small things like that where it's like I really saw God guide my path to where I am right now, because it's just like the little bits of knowledge that I've learned leading up into starting a business, because I had no idea really what I was doing prior to, but jumping into it, like everything that I've kind of learned throughout my career progression kind of tied back into, and I was able to use that in my business. So.
Yeah. So, man, for all y'all people who think, because you got your 9 to 5, you can't leverage it, to enhance what you're doing, these ladies just gave you 3 different examples of how they're doing it, or how they did it and how they're currently doing it. So when I think about women, right, ladies, women, again, this National Women's Month, women, you guys are brave, fearless, right? You are, the backbone of America, right? And I know sometimes, we know that America is a capitalistic, we have an economy that's built off capitalism, right? So for you as an entrepreneur to take this leap of faith and say, you know what, I'm gonna put my passion, my time, my energy behind something that I love, and I'm gonna make money from it, right? And I'm gonna meet a client or a customer's need. Like, what was your biggest fear of getting started? Because there's so many people that get nervous just to get started, right? They got all the ideas, but like to get out there and get started, it's like, Lord help me. Somebody help me. Like, I need that step, I need that push, right? So what was your biggest fear being an entrepreneur or getting into entrepreneurship?
I had a pretty, comfy job at my old job. I didn't work too hard. I got a good paycheck. I was able to do GRS at the same time, but I was not able to dedicate the time and give the full experience that I wanted to give to my clients while still working. So, kind of manifested some things, and I was actually laid off a little bit. Kind of technically, they eliminated my position and they gave me 6 months to find a new position within the company. So I took that 6 months and I really grinded it out. It really established GRF to be something that I can rely on full time. And even though I had that, right, and this is what I wanted and I've been speaking on it and it's happening, I still was like, oh my God, am I going to do this? This is a guaranteed paycheck that I'm about to give up. And even though I know that I'm qualified, I'm skilled, I have everything, there is absolutely no reason why I would fail. But I still was very hesitant because having the job was it was a sure thing. But I realized I was never going to get that opportunity again to say, this is a nice clean break from a company. Here's a severance package. Do whatever you want to do. And so I felt like it was God speaking to me, and I couldn't deny that.
So. For me, I haven't gotten as bold as Ashley yet to quit my 9 to 5, but I would say, man, I'm gonna be real. I had a full-on anxiety attack. Today, a couple hours before I launched my business, I was like, Lord Jesus, what am I doing? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I started making candles, and the first candle I made was probably May of 2020. And then I just upped and launched my business in August. It was just a leap of faith. And as she kind of mentioned, I really think that it was God's plan, because it just kind of happened out of nowhere. I knew that I wanted to have something of my own, but I never in a million years thought that I would be a candle maker or do anything like this. And like I mentioned earlier, it just kind of grew into a passion. But I would say I was super nervous just because I didn't know how I invested so much money, so I didn't know how I was gonna get that money back, if my business would be successful. What if nobody bought my products? What if I burned somebody's house down? I got so many things going in my head. I didn't know what to expect, but I just kind of took that leap and just put all my trust in him, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna do it. And if I fail, I fail, and it's gonna be a lessons learned. And then it was a little easier for me because I had the safety net of my full-time job. So it's like, you know, even if this does fail, it ain't like I'm gonna stop eating. Like I'm still gonna get paid. And so, you know, even today, I'm gonna be honest, like I'm glad that I'm to the point now that my business funds itself. But for like the longest, I think this year finally got to the point where I'm not putting so much of my money into it. And it's getting to the point where, you know, it kind of funds itself, and eventually, hopefully, I can start paying myself a little bit more. But yeah, I think it was just that fear of failure for me. I just was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just started making candles. Do I even know? But I had faith in myself. I knew that, you know, if anything, it would be a lesson for me, and it wasn't going to be the end of the world. So I just did it. I was nervous, though. I was real nervous, but I just did it. I still nervous sometimes, you know, to get that phone call, like, you burned my house down. I'm like, Lord Jesus.
Kayla, I think we on you, Kayla, but can you hear?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my kids are having a meltdown, so I was like trying to make sure I was muted. My son can't find his turtle. It's the real thing. But honestly, I didn't have a fear of getting my business started. I'll say, in just like continuing business going, my biggest fear is just like that expansion and offering something outside of what I've initially started to do. Like trusting that my expertise is wanted, it's valued, it's needed, that, you know, people are reaching out and seeking me because they value what it is I bring to the table, and reminding myself, because, you know, sometimes I'll call it imposter syndrome, and I have to catch myself because my words matter, and I'm far from an imposter. Like, I am worthy of all the space that I take up, and I just have to remind myself. So sometimes, like, that's the fear, that I'm not worthy of the space I'm taking up. And I just have to remind myself that I am, because I am creating like a life that I love, because I'm walking in my passion. Another fear I'd say is that this will no longer be something I love to do. I remember when I started teaching, even though it wasn't what I went to school to do, when I started doing it, it was something, and like teaching in the classroom, specifically mathematics, like that was something I loved to do with kids. And then I remember the day when I stopped loving to do it. I was still good at it, but I stopped loving to do it. There's also this fear, if birth work will ever become something that I don't love to do anymore. It's just something I have to do, or, I'm chasing a coin or a bottom line to do what I love to do.
And that's real right there. Like you said, like going from you scared of it being something that one day you don't love anymore, right? And it's like these businesses are your baby, right? Like y'all don't play about y'all business. Like, look, hey, I'm putting my all into it, and that's a scary feeling when you feel like, hey, my love and desire for what I'm doing shifts, right? So let me ask you this, and this wasn't on our question that I gave y'all earlier, but I think it's appropriate. Like, how do you continue to invest in yourself, to continue to make sure that you're providing the best version, not only to your company, but the best version of yourself to your clients? Like, how do you personally invest in yourself?
For me, I'm fortunate that the birth industry, maternal health care is just so worldwide. There are always workshops, continuing education opportunities for me to audit and further my learning, and even certify in certain things. So if not monthly, sometimes more than once a month, I am ensuring that I am in some workshop, in some training, in some class. I'm a part of several professional organizations and coalitions as well. And so I make sure that I'm reading and engaged with the monthly newsletters and information that are sent out, and whatever activities that I can be a part of. within those communities?
I would say there's a pretty large candle making community out there. So I'm a part of a lot of Facebook groups. YouTube has been my best friend. I've taken a few virtual classes and things like that just to kind of perfect my skills when it comes to actually making candles. But where I see the most value is actually, talking to other entrepreneurs, even like being on this panel, and just kind of learning, that I'm not alone in, the fear and like some of the things I may be going through, and having a good network has kind of helped me, kind of learn new avenues I could take for my business, what are some best practices, outside of like the operational side of, making candles. There's so much more. This, matter of fact, this probably like, that's the easy part, like making the candles, but like, how do I brand it correctly? How do I make sure I'm keeping up my accounting, things right? And I think, talking with other entrepreneurs and just networking is what's helped me the most. Just started my business. So
I think that that's very valid. I have some really dope friends, Jeremy included, that help, just troubleshoot things, talk things out, give me ideas. So I definitely think like the people that I have surrounding help a lot. But because it's my license, I also am required a minimum amount of continuing education annually. But I also always go beyond that because even though I've had it for a while, this business for a while, I'm still very much so in the infant stages. So it's a lot of things that I can learn to do better, to apply better, strategies. And tax law is something that's ever changed and always moving. So my effort is to always be on top of that.
yeah, shout out to Jeremy be dropping them gems, helping us entrepreneurs out here.
Yeah,
He be dropping them.
Hey man, if today was National Men's Month, I'd take all that right there. But I'm gonna keep the focus on y'all. Cause y'all most definitely.
We'll give you a chance to write it. What's that consulting firm you coming up with? Or is that not much?
Faithful consultant. I'm the moderator, man. Hey, man.
Hey, Facebook and help the sister out too. Shout out to them.
And it is woman majority on Facebook. It's woman majority on. So I got a good strong woman behind me who helps with all that good stuff. So, we talked about investing, talked about the fears, but like, let's not act like being an entrepreneur, there's not some fun parts of it. Like there's some parts you really enjoy when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Like, tell me about something that really gets you like, man, like they get you excited, fulfilled. Like what's that feeling, like that moment that makes everything worth it, right? Like tell me about like what that thing is for you in your business.
My biggest thing with go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, you got
my biggest thing. I really do feel like I change lives. Like I make a difference in entrepreneurs. Like I help them navigate the waters of properly being registered and tax compliances and all that. I'm someone that like I try to change the narrative of things. I want to take the angst and anxiety out of tax compliances and Uncle Sam. I don't want it to be looked at in the negative light. And so I see that in my clients when I talk to them and explain it. And I'm all about teaching. I'm all about, you're not just going to submit documents to me and it's done. We're going to talk about it and what these implications are. And, outside of that, I also really, really enjoy the autonomy. When school shut down, I didn't have to stress about where my kid was going to go home. So I like that as well.
I would say for me, I really Man, I just love like the art of like just making candles and like when people are like, man, it's on fire, like just like seeing people light up, when they burn my candle, they send me like text messages, DMs, when they see me there, it's like, that's the candle girl. It's, just things like that, that just really makes me feel good. I also love doing like custom orders. So lately I've kind of stepped into the avenue of, you know, doing custom projects for certain events or appreciation gifts, corporate gifts, things like that. And those things are so fun to me because I'm able to, really put my creative hat on. And that's just something that I've discovered about myself through my business is like my creativity and my ability to do that because I didn't necessarily see myself as a creative person before. And so I got into it and I'm like, I love doing it. So I kind of found another passion within a passion in a way. So it's my customers. They're the ones that light me up.
For me, it would be when the partners in the village really just like get it. When they can wholeheartedly show up and support and revel in what it is the birthing person has said that they want and they want to experience or that they need or that they're curious about, whether it's something that the family has done, that they're used to, that they know of, that they've seen, like when all the people are just like, yep, like that's what we're going to do, because that makes sense. Like that's what you need. That's when it's just like really, really fun for me. It's also really cool when I get to help people that have had not so positive experiences with breastfeeding, really connect with that part of their bodies. And like that confidence that really, really comes with being able to do it and understand. Like there's some serious miseducation and misinformation in the whole breastfeeding and lactation and chest feeding world. So I love those aha moments as well.
Yeah, that's dope. Just the different things that keep you going and keep you going that really fulfill you, that make all the hours, the time, the energy, the efforts, the hard days, the long days, make it all worth it. Um, One thing that we didn't talk about, and I think it's important, and Kaylee, I instantly thought about you, uh, is the name of your business, right? all I know the name of your business. Like that's the thing. When people start a business, they spend hours, time. Like before we did any work, right? We gonna think about their name, and we gonna try to find us a T-shirt. Like it's like and my logo. Like them three things, I gotta have a T-shirt, a logo, and a name. And if I do that, but my business live, like, hey, look, hey, we out here. Like that's so important. But you guys got some very unique names, right? So can you talk about the meaning behind your brand? Because ultimately, like Jasmine, you said the candle, that's the candle lady, right? Like there's gonna come a point in time where you become synonymous with your brand. And now instead of saying Jasmine, Ashley, Kayla, they're gonna be like, hey, get you a doula, man. Like there's, GRF Financial, Black Spark. So can you talk about the origin of the name and kind of what the name kind of arrived from? And what it means to why did you name it that?
A lot of people don't know what a doula is. And I find myself answering that question all the time before I can even, like provide the service or the support. And just like running it together, like what's a doula? What's a doula? Like I literally like said it that quick, and I was like, that's the name, like WTD, what's a doula? And then I wanted a catchy tagline, something that was Memphis is a mug, something that was true to me. I love the word main. Like if you ask me my pronoun, I'm gonna tell you I'm a main. Like like call me main. And I really feel like everybody deserves a doula. And when I tell people, when you see me, I'm just like, get a doula main. And so that's the tagline for my business. That's my hashtag. If you see me in a shirt, something is going to say, ask me what a doula is or get a doula, man. I'm going to tell you need a doula. It's going to say something about breastfeeding. If I'm not wearing something that says that, I'm wearing earrings that are breast, or I'm going to wear a jacket with some breasts on it, like something just like statement pieces, something that's going to catch your eye, that's going to make you talk to me and ask me either why I have that on or what it is that I do. So one, I can take the discomfort around bodies that everybody see and everybody has and everybody came from. Like everybody came from what we have. Most folks, just aren't comfortable enough with it to talk about it. And so I wanted to be able to have something that could be talked about, cultural, trendy, cool. Yeah, that's what the doula.
So when I started my business, I spent a lot of time thinking about my name. I really did. Black Spark, it was just something that just came to my head. I don't know where it came from. The Lord spoke to me. But initially, BLK, it stands for beautiful, loved, and kind. And so I wanted it to be, I know no one knows that because I don't publicize it enough, but I wanted it to be like a representation of myself. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the whole point behind it was just to spread, some positivity, because like the world was in flames when I started my business. Like the pandemic just hit, people are at home. Everybody was talking about, I want to be outside. Mental health was up. Everybody talking about depression. And I was just like, I just need to push something out in the world. And then I just took Black Spark and I ran with it. And all of my jars and things are black, just kind of going along with the theme. A lot of people, when they see it, they think of like Black excellence, which I also think is a representation of me. And I'm trying to do better with like getting branding, like t-shirts and stuff. And our little entrepreneur group, we've talked about that. So I have a few branding items, but that's something I'm definitely working on getting more out there, just so people can kind of understand more what my brand means. But yeah, that's pretty much the meaning behind it. Not too much. And then, I kind of took on the Candle Hustler kind of tagline for myself. So you'll see that a lot on like my social media pages and the t-shirts that I do have. That's what I myself as.
So mine is not that like trendy and cool. Can't really be that trendy and cool with a CPA business. But so initially my business was not a CPA firm. So there's certain naming requirements if you are a CPA firm and if you're not. And because it was not, it could not have, CPA or accounting or anything in the title. So that's the reason why I came with financial. GRF is the initials of my son. And it was just really important for me the big reason why I started my business, because I needed something. I wanted to pass my son something to him. And whether he gets his accounting degree or not, I'm going to set up in a way that he's going to always benefit from this business. So he's the namesake of it. And yeah, GRF Financial, your partner in financial prosperity. Okay, we are.
You sure be having me prospering. I ain't gonna lie. You have me prospering. I'll be over here struggling. You start scratching your head when you don't know what's going on. I'm like, hey,
flourish. We're gonna be great. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so obviously, man, you ladies are busy, right? I know for a fact y'all give like 30,000 hours to STS, right? STS is like a whole nother job that won't give y'all no W-2s or none of that. But I know, man, y'all be going hard for STS. Y'all got other priorities. Man, you got families, right? And then you got your business, right? You got all the other things that you're involved in. How do you manage it all? Because somebody gonna watch this video, they're gonna get motivated by something you say. They're gonna be like, you know what, family, today I'm gonna go get my business. I'm gonna hit boom, 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 and then they're gonna realize like, oh, son, how do I manage this? Like, how do I keep myself together? Because it'll stress me out because I got so many things in the fire. So how do y'all manage your time? And then if you got any tools or groups or things that you use to help with that, could you share that with the people so they'll kind of have their heads up?
I because I don't have much
Go
to say
ahead.
because I need to work on. Um, honestly, I need to do better with managing my time because I do have a lot of balls that I'm juggling. So I would say for me, what's kind of been working for me lately is just setting weekly priorities at the beginning of the week. So on Sundays, sometimes Mondays, I kind of just write out a to-do list of, things I need to get done for that week. And I used to use like an app, but it wasn't working for me. Like I wasn't checking the app and marking them off. It's something about me like writing it down and scratching it out that just kind of gives me satisfaction. So that's what I've been doing, and it's helped me. And so like I wish I had it with me, but I just have like a long to-do list that I kind of write out every week. And I'm like, okay, I need to get all of these things done. And I just, mark stuff off throughout the week. And that's how I've been doing. I'm not saying that's the most effective way, but it's been getting me through this long.
I heavily utilize my calendar. I have a planner that I use, mine is daily to do this, and it's ever changing. Like right before we got on the call, I had clients that I needed to talk to. I have I don't know if you can see it, I use color coding and what part of the process they're in. Like I do it all. I have a wall calendar because it's a million moving parts and I'm doing it all. And I hired someone to help me, virtual assistant to help me take away some of the planning part of it. So.
One of the ways that I'm able to manage all the balls that I'm juggling is a supportive partner. My husband is very instrumental in helping out with my kids. I have two small children, so helping out with my kids so I can show up in the middle of the night for babies because they come whenever they want. But that is a very real part of my job that I cannot plan. So I want to go on the record on this recording and say that was my first answer, my husband, just how I'm able to manage my
What's his name, man? What's his name? What's your new name?
Mark Matthews.
Okay.
And then the other way is my calendar. And so digitally, my calendar, so iCal connects my 5 Google calendars. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have a couple of businesses that I'm kind of instrumental in. And so iCal connects all 5 of those, color-coded, everything from do my morning routine, meditate, cook dinner, put the eczema cream on my son, clip toenails, all those things are calendared and scheduled out every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, type stuff. I'm as it relates to just the business and things, I try to automate as much business stuff as I can. Really good about having workflows and processes and those things written out and just continuing to edit them and change them so that I don't have to think about that stuff on the fly. I've even gotten to the point on the calendar thing that says cook dinner, I'm putting the recipes or the link to the recipe or the picture that I Pinterest or save in the calendar, the shared calendar with my husband. Maybe I'm the person that cooks dinner, maybe I'm not. If he saw it, maybe he'll want to, and the recipe's there, maybe he'll start, maybe he'll take the stuff out. I don't know. Trying to be efficient and effective all the way around.
Mark, she out here trying to throw hints. She said, "Hey, but when I put that link in there, that means hey, you could cook dinner." National Women's Month, boy.
I need you to take notes. You see what she was like? She tell you what to cook. Just make sure it's taken care of. That's what you need.
Hey, you had a lot of static in the background, AJ. I don't know what it is. Yeah, some static. We're gonna come back to that question though. I'm pretty sure it was real good.
I bet. You can hear you.
Man,
I know.
Man trying to boss me around, man. They trying to boss me around. Give me instructions.
That's all right. I'm a custom master. We're gonna have
But that's a whole nother call. I don't know how it is, ladies. Y'all just ride for each other. Like y'all don't gotta know each other. Like everybody knows that women led businesses thrive, but not only because y'all smart, y'all geniuses, y'all doing, but man, y'all go hard for each other. You don't even gotta know what it is. Y'all finna go by. And I think that's so dope. We almost out of time. We got about 15 minutes left, and I do want to give y'all some time to do y'all shameless plugs, right? Because ultimately, we want to make sure that people know about your business and how they can get involved, get connected with you. You know, but one thing that was apparent to me recently, I didn't put this much value on it, but now I am, and I want to get your thoughts on it, is presentation, right? Your image. How much of that, like, I really didn't really understand how much your image can play a role in your business, right? People want to work with brands and individuals that look successful. So how do you, and this can come in the form of self-care, but how much value do you put on your presentation and appearance as it relates to your business? How important is that to you?
For me, it's very important, but I have a struggle between. I was in corporate for 8 years, and I was very by the book. Look this way, dress this way. Don't have too colorful hair, don't have too colorful nails, those type of things. And so it's a balance between being free from those restraints, and then also the idea that I'm in a very professional setting, and I want my clients to know that they're getting a very professional experience. However, I do like the idea that my clients see me as relatable. I'm not something that can be accessed. I can very much so be viewed as like a friend or someone that they can hang out with. And so that makes them more comfortable and takes the anxiety out of the experience.
For me, I would say, so I actually get quite a few compliments on like my branding and imaging whenever I do like pop-up shops or just craft fairs and things like that. And I really put a lot of thought behind what I want my brand to look like whenever I'm publicizing it, because it is very important and people do pay attention to that, like the professionalism. And I've seen, not to throw any shade, but I've just kind of seen like other candle brands online, and I knew I didn't want to be like that, and I wanted to put my personal touch on it, and be authentic and be myself, like Ashley mentioned, and I've been able to thrive from that. So I would say it's very important, especially for a brand like mine that's it's product based. So I'm actually selling a product, and most people, they want, a product that looks good. And I think of myself as a affordable luxury brand. And so I try to keep up that image whenever I'm out.
Echoing a little bit of what the other panelists said, I know and believe that image and branding is important. So I try to be consistent, I'll say, with image and branding. For years as a teacher, I loved that I didn't always look like the average teacher. I look very youthful. I'm mad my eye ring, I can't get it in right now, but I have an eyebrow ring. I have, visible tattoos. I code switch often between, one vernacular to the other, fluent in a couple of languages. And I love to just bring all of that to whatever room, space, or place that I'm in. And all of that is very present in my business. I was intentional in bringing my most authentic self into my business name and my tagline. You know, I'm gonna forever be a Memphis like native and Memphis girl through and through. And so I love, you know, like going in big rooms and on big stages and telling folks like get a doula, man, because you know, like that is my business. That is professional for me. You know, also like my dress is different than what, you know, the dress looks like for other professions. I'm not wearing heels in a birthing setting. I'm, you know, very much in a workout pant or a scrub bottom and a, you know, dry fit top or, you know, something that's stain resistant. So I could be comfortable in moving, you know, to support birth and dodge fluids. And so, you know, it looks different for me, and I like that. But I'm aware that, you know, that needs to look a certain way. I think about when you asked that question, I was actually thinking about just like branding and the way my image looks online and social media and all the things I know I don't want to look like. I never want to look robotic. I hate going to those pages that look super gimmicky and robotic and just all the same. Like, got 3 pictures going down the side on the left. And I don't want to do that personally. So I try to be just like quirkily and
I'd add one more thing. I would say your image is so important because you attract what you kind of look like and what you portray out. And so just like depending on what industry you're in or what you want your brand to be, like you almost have to become that. You almost have to become your ideal customer to attract them. And so that's something I always think about when like I'm going out to like these craft shows and things like that. Like I'm wanting to attract a certain customer to my brand. And so I have to look apart. My brand needs to look apart because someone that, you know, my kind of target is like millennials, like young women who are kind of like bosses and kind of leveling up in life, or I would say. So I would have to kind of portray that through my brand to attract them back to me. You are what you attract. I think that's the tag.
But I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy that they don't apply to relationships, cause I'm happy that I had a chance to level up. You know what I'm saying? Cause I don't know if I reflected no doctor, you know, but I'm appreciative that it don't always apply in every situation. Lord, these I'd have been out here struggling, boy. I'd have been out here struggling. But nah, that's real. So we gotta get ready to wrap it up. One of the things that Alton Cryer, who's our executive director, my business partner and co-founder, we always believe in trying to figure out how do we support you all. Right, you know, how is, and when I say you all, I mean the people, the individuals in our organization who serve, man, like I said, you guys give time, talent, treasure, ideas, everything, like, and it's very important for us to, you know, to pour into you. So how, like, what would you tell a person who's in an organization that may not be STS, but sometimes you don't see the opportunity right where you are. You know, I know me and Jasmine had the conversation of like use us as your test group. Like if you got an idea, use your platform. So what would you tell? I know most people are involved in some type of community, right? Some type of organization. What would you tell that person that maybe isn't leveraging the community that they have around them? They want more business, want more opportunity, but they're not leveraging the community that they have around them. What would you tell them?
I think if you're not leveraging your network, because that is a network, that is a different type of network, but if you're not promoting yourself within your network, it's because of fear that you feel that you're not worthy of promoting yourself in that. So just get out your own way, and people are going to support you or they're not. And even if they're not your ideal clientele, they absolutely can plug you to the next person that's looking for your services. So just get out your own way. Do it.
I would add, I second that actually. The connections I've made, particularly through STS, have been very beneficial for me and my business. Like Jeremy mentioned, like I always I wouldn't say always, but I look at STS as as a part of my target audience, just because like they're close to me, that's a part of my network, and so every person through there could be a potential customer or could potentially help me with a business need, or I could connect with them, even if they're not buying my products, but they could give me advice on something or connect me with someone else. Like I always look at it as an opportunity when, wherever I am, even in other, kind of organizations I'm involved with at work. I never take advantage, or I don't care what you look like. You could potentially help me some way. And, I'm going to, take the opportunity to kind of network with you, even if you're not a part of my target audience. So always an opportunity to kind of connect within your circles. And me and Jeremy talked about, so I'm interested in, starting some candle classes. And he's like, man, start with SDS. Like, let there be your trial, because I haven't done it, so I'm nervous. I'm like, how I'm supposed to teach people how to make candles? Like, I need this, and this, whatever, forget something. And he's like, let's do a test, use some people in SDS. I'm like, that's perfect. So, side plug, if y'all want to do a candle class, Kayla and Ashley, I think we said April 2nd. Just look out for that. But I just kind of need some people, some real feedback, because it'll be my first candle class, some real feedback on the class, so that once I start, really doing them and going and doing like team building activities for corporations and doing classes on my own, like I already have that feedback and I know where I need to adjust. So.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, well, you gonna say something? Or you good? All right, cool. So we're at the end. This been fun to me. I've enjoyed. I learned a number of things about each of you all's business. But I think it's very important again for you guys to do your own shameless plugs. Like, let people know, why they should come work with you, and patronize your business. So if you guys could take a few minutes to do your shameless plug to anyone that watches this video, why should they patronize and consider your business as a place where they should spend their money?
So you should definitely check out GRF Financials, full service accounting firm. We do virtual CFO, so we take all the stress away from you. We do bookkeeping classes and services, taxes, individual and business taxes, all types of businesses. So come on, get elite services, setting the standard type services at grf.com. You can reach us at www.grffinancials.com, Facebook, GRF Financials, Instagram, GRF_financials, and email client services at grffinancials.com.
If you're looking for some fire candles, some to light at home, some good room sprays, wax melts, I got massage candles, anything of that sort, you can always visit www.blkspark.com. Follow us on Instagram at blk_spark, and then of course Facebook, it's just blk spark candles. I just launched spring collection, so I am running a sale right now. If you use code SPRING22 on our website, you get 25% off the spring collection. Got some fire scents. If you need any custom gifts, I'm also still accepting customers for that as well right now. So hit me up, and yeah, let's get your house smelling good, your car, all that.
All right. And whether you are expecting or not, whether it's your first or your fifth, everybody can benefit from the type of support that I offer. Share posts, connect with the information. Follow me, What the Doula on all social media platforms, whatthedoula.com. You can sign up for my newsletter, learn about some different ways that you can be an advocate for maternal health care. Again, like every single person came here because someone birthed them. And so we all deserve to elevate the voices that are doing the work to make sure that there's equity in this field. And I truly believe that everybody deserves a doula. And so, if you know someone that's looking for a doula, please connect them with me. I'm a community doula as well here in Memphis, Tennessee. And so if you're looking for a doula and you're a Black woman in specific zip codes throughout the city, there's a free doula available for you. You just have to do the work to connect with the program. Check out birthstrides.org. You can request me as your doula too.
Time out. So you mean to tell me I ain't gonna have no baby to get a doula? I can get a doula before I need a doula?
There are different types of doulas. You couldn't get me as your doula. So people have fertility doulas if they're in that process, in that phase of the birthing process. Some people, if they're going through adoption doulas. I just found out there are birth doulas for pets, y'all. Like people have doulas for their dogs and cats and stuff. Like, whatever you need a doula for, get a doula, man. Get a doula.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that pet doula sound like a little specialty market. They got some dollars attached to it. People go hard for their pets. So you have to get you a doula, man, for the dog. A cat. Oh well. And please ignore my. I really thought you meant I could get a doula without having a baby. I was like, hey, I ain't know that. But this has been fun. Again, truly enjoyed you ladies. You guys are phenomenal, and at least I think you guys, you ladies are phenomenal. Also, I've had the privilege of knowing you all for a number of years, and I know that this is just the beginning. I know you're years into your business, but I know that this is just the beginning, and the best is yet to come. So thank you all so much for taking time out of your day, because we know that time is money. All right, y'all gave STS some more time, some more of your time, and again, we really appreciate it. Thank you for helping me and one of our marketing directors, Miss Kristen Burnett. She's behind the scenes, but thank you for making this week that we have the Extraordinary Women series. We thank you for helping us make this channel possible. And really appreciate you joining us next week. This week again was Women in Leadership, Women in Entrepreneurship. Next week will be Women in Leadership, talking to women who are in leadership in their current roles. So with that being said, thank you ladies so much. Again, I really appreciate it. And until next time, join us 6:30 next Thursday. You can visit our website, www.stsenterprise.org.